Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're super excited to be joined by Sheri and Mahnoor, the leaders and founders of Exxcelerate Group, a company dedicated to helping businesses and professionals grow through strategic consulting, coaching, and innovative solutions. Together, they bring desire, experience in leadership, operations, and transformations, working to accelerate growth for clients across industries. Thank you for joining me, both of you. Very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Perfect. So with all my guests, I do like to start at the beginning of the journey. So maybe what was the story of how you guys met? What was you doing beforehand? And then what inspired you to start up the company from there?
All right, so I'll jump in over here. So Sheri and I have been working for 3-4 years actually together prior to starting Exxcelerate. It was a very interesting, there's ups and downs in our journey to get to be very transparent. And we love to be transparent, maybe too transparent about everything. But we both were operating a company before this, essentially, which focused on deal origination, specifically within the mergers and acquisition space. So we've had 4 or 5 years of experience, not only dealing with like investment banking clients, M&A professionals, private equity, understanding everything from what is top of the funnel to actually their intricate sales system. What are the gaps essentially? And because we were so specialized in M&A, we had a lot more insight. And it went beyond the realm of just say, let's say, marketing and sales. We understood certain verticals when multiples were happening, different spaces like, hey, don't go after this. Private equity is very aggressively pursuing HVAC or things like that, essentially. So we had a plethora of experience, but in 2024, essentially, there was a market shift in marketing. And if you Google on LinkedIn, oh, cold email is dead. Cold email is dead, which was one of our primary sources of deal origination for our clients. And a lot of actually agencies specifically did go under. So we were fortunate in the sense that we had still at that point 92% client retention. We had very strong relationships. We were able to weather the storm, but it was eye-opening for us in terms of concentration risk with technology, concentration risk with talent, a lack of dedicated resources for R&D and research and stuff. So we went through that, and eventually it came to a point that one of our like partners, former partners, he was like, listen, this, I don't want to be in this space. I want to be something more buy side advisory work. So we ended up ending that, but we were like, myself, Sheri, and our third partner were like, we have really worked hard to build relationships. We have worked really hard to build operations and technology. Our clients trust us. And so we decided, you know what, let's do this our own way. Let's do it more boutique. All the things that we saw in the past, let's address them head on and let's start Exxcelerate. So that's how we came to this point of starting it. We just started a couple months ago, and we're very lucky that we hit the ground running with clients already with us.
How cool. So I'm assuming all three of you worked previously at the same company as well with the third founder. Sorry, that's how I should say.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, amazing. And then so let's dive into what the business looks like. So walk me through who would be your ideal customer, and then from there, what it would be like to work with you guys at Exxcelerate.
Sheri, you want to take this one?
Sure. So obviously our older clients that followed us, they are M&A professionals, but Manu, actually, we are moving in the direction of not just M&A, but into transportation, into healthcare. Manu actually has a really big client. I'm not gonna say their name or anything, but she is actually assisting them with their business development, and we do see a need there as well. So not just M&A focused, but we are going into the business development route for, let's say, manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, education. So we're diving into that part.
Yeah. And just to add to that, Olivia, like there is a certain persona that can work with us, and we're very okay with that because we want to keep it boutique. There has to be a mindset match. If
Okay.
you're looking for short-term solutions that's going to get you $3 million in sales, we don't operate like that, especially coming from M&A space where the sales cycle typically are 12 to 18 months. There's a pipeline development system, there's nurturing, there's relationship building, there's a lot of layers that go into that closing of the sale. So whether regardless of the industry, you have to come with the right mindset towards building your systems behind it.
Yeah.
So we also are careful about who we can work with because we're looking for long-term partnerships, not just a quick like sales thing and oh, we'll get a little bit of money short term. We're just not interested in that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So they got to align with your philosophy and theories. As you say, it's more of a marathon than a sprint in
Mm,
that
mm,
aspect, what you guys do.
yeah.
Amazing. And then, so once you've found the customer that you're happy to work with, what does it look like from there? How exactly do you dive into the business and then help the process and the scaling?
I was like, I'll
Yeah.
start and then you. Okay. So we actually have on our website for any inbound clients that would like to work with us, there
Yeah.
is a short questionnaire to see if there is a fit there. But other than that, once we've sourced our clients, once we've booked the call, obviously there's going to be a discovery call. No selling in that sense, but just trying to understand what's their bottleneck, what are they looking for, what are they looking to improve in their process. And then we take it back, come back with a very detailed proposal, and then go from there if that works and have a bit more customization for them if it doesn't, or if they're looking for something else. Manu, if you want to add to that as
Yep.
well.
Sure. So yeah, so that's sort of like our discovery process and onboarding essentially. But in terms of actual services, what we do is we do on the front end, like your general sourcing, right? Which is you're basically just the top of the sales system, essentially. So we do start there where I don't like the term lead gen because now there are like 3,000 agencies and everyone's and AI is booking 50 million calls for you apparently, which I mean, good for you if that's working for you. I commend it. But essentially we do deal sourcing. We try to double down on quality and make sure it's very custom. We don't write AI. We use AI for efficiencies, but we do not do AI driven content or anything like that. It's a
Mhm.
support. We don't
Yeah.
rely on it. So we do sourcing, we do sales systems development, which we called our build program essentially. So it's from sourcing, but also what happens when we give you the lead. 9 out of 10 times, people don't even follow up. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is $100 million company, and my heart is breaking right now. What is happening? So we'll do the follow-up, the nurturing, the newsletter, all of that system from beginning to close. Then if you don't want us to do this and you're like, hey, build it for me, I'm gonna handle it myself. So we have an in-house lead engine that we will develop for you. Or if you need a support team, we will train team members and hand them off to you to manage these components of the business because especially with M&A, your focus should be on deal closing, financials, due diligence, move the deal, not
Mhm.
on administrative or marketing work essentially. So those are our core fundamental services.
Amazing. So it's not like a done for you service, as you say, you're setting up the companies to really help and scale and then continue that themselves as they progress
Mhm.
and then learn from you
Correct.
guys and the systems are there. Amazing. And how do you go about acquiring your customers? Are there any kind of leads or channels that you find most effective at the moment in doing?
Oh, I would say do what we preach, essentially. I will say this though, transparently, we have been a little bit lazier than we should in the sense of
Good to hear.
because yeah, it's true. 90, we just launched 90 days, and Olivia, we had to shut down a company and start a company in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it was more
Yeah.
hectic than anticipated, essentially. And then we made some decisions to register ourselves in the Emirates, United Arab Emirates. So there were layers to how we wanted to set it up, which created a little bit of time consumption. But if yes, and we were lucky in the sense that we had already clients coming with us because of the
Yeah.
relationships and work we had done in the past. But if you're saying, okay, Manu, if you were to step out of your comfort zone, what would you typically do? Our number one would be email sourcing,
Okay.
essentially, because that's what we do for our clients. We are very well versed and we understand the M&A world really well, right? That would be number one. Number two, we have a lot of extensive experience with LinkedIn. And by LinkedIn, I'm not talking about ads. Again, we're talking about direct sourcing mechanisms. In an ideal world, we want to actually, and that's why we're also doing this podcast, we'd like to actually get more content out there
Nice.
transparently. We haven't dedicated time to it, but this is something that we want to do. Regardless of whether somebody works with us or not, we do want to position ourselves as experts in the space because we do have a plethora of experience that people should be able to have access to. I think knowledge, we'd like to spread that. So I think fundamentally those would be the major areas where we would like to be getting our clients from. And we definitely need to double down a little bit more, especially LinkedIn and the content side.
Yeah, 100%. Content's great. And even if it's just, as you say, that people are aware of you within the space, like your personal brand, the company's brand is also so much, it plays an important part in that. But great to see that referrals are coming through and serving you from the previous company as well as you start up and push from there. Would you ever consider maybe running kind of funnels from other channels or other methods apart from LinkedIn and emails, or is that kind of rigided because that's within your philosophy as well?
It depends. I think we'd be open to it when it comes to exploring other verticals,
Yeah.
right? Because right now we've just entered the world of facility services and things like that. So we'd consider, let's say, ads on different platforms, essentially just out of curiosity too, I would like to see how it purely performs against other channels as well. So 100% we'd definitely be open to it, especially in verticals that we don't have as much experience in per se. So the answer, I guess, in a very long-winded way, was yes.
No, it was a great answer. And then I suppose in terms of you mentioned that you have the on the website you've got to click to have a booking a call, and then you have the di deep dive, which is more of a discovery to get to know each other, and then you lead your proposal. In terms of the sales call and then moving on from there, are you guys taking that yourselves? Do you take it in turns, or is there one of you that likes to put their hand up over the other one?
It's us. We
Yeah.
just love people so much. No, it's actually, I know, I also know why you're going to ask this question because it's a scalability thing, right? Scalability and sustainability thing. I think the vision for the first year right now is to be very hands-on and be more selective with our clients and to have a more consulting oriented model for
Okay.
now.
Nice.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's not how we may progress in the future essentially, but we want to make sure that we have long-term partners. We're very hands-on with our strategy, et cetera, et cetera. And with that comes a glass ceiling. Of course, we recognize that. But I think for the next, as we're just building those relationships, building our positioning in the market, right? We'd like to keep it that way. But then after that, I think depending on how the vision goes, are we trying to make this into more of an agency model? Do we want to retain that consulting? Do we want to bring on more consultants? How does that work? Then we can have that conversation of bringing on more like sales or trained representatives.
100%. Yeah, it makes complete sense. As you say, the foundations need to be there, as you mentioned, in terms of growth. Even when you're adding on other revenues of bringing in leads, that's the kind of the next step from there. So when you guys are ready, I'd be looking forward to seeing how that grows for you.
Yeah.
What do the next 12 months look like for you guys? What are the goals? What are the plans as you move into your first year, like first full year running?
Very.
Obviously, there's personal goals, and then for the business wise, we do want to dive in a little bit more outside of M&A, like
Yeah.
we want to, and of course, like continue our relationships with our old clients that came along with us, building new relationships and retaining that as well, and just seeing where the business takes us. Like we're very focused. Our clientele is mainly in the USA right now. We
Okay.
are both Canadian, so I would love
Yeah.
to dive into the Canadian market. And then just solely based off our business being registered in the UAE, we would like to see how that also takes off as well. I know like in a year, I feel like I pinpoint a lot of stuff, but a lot can happen.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. And like it's nice talking to you guys because you seem like you have a very clear mindset, even if it's okay, we're going to try some things in the future and we don't really know what we're doing at the moment, but you guys are very, what's the right word to use? Like persistent in what you're doing. You can see the end goal with it. So it's great to see your mindset off the back of that as well. In terms of specific goals or targets, do you have like a number of clients you're looking to hit per month or a milestone that would be like a great achievement for you as you come into anything?
I think we have two. One is funny and one is not so funny. So I'll start with the
Okay.
not so funny version. We do have revenue targets. We definitely want to hit that seven-figure mark at the end of the year in terms of annual revenue. Obviously, we started in July. We were officially incorporated in July. Let's say by end of June, even though that's not the way we are operating our fiscal years, but for ourselves, we want to hit that seven-figure target. And we are on track pretty
Mm.
much for that. So that's number one, but that requires, like you said, a lot of consistency and clarity. That's why we're not trying to do 600 things at one time. We're like, okay, these are like these are our programs. This is what can we do within these given resources. We have to look at what our capacity and bandwidth is, but really give you a quality experience, even if it means less clients. So we do have revenue targets that we're going
Mhm.
after, essentially. And then we have a secondary fund target that we will all be in the same country in June next year, celebrating that we survived one year.
Amazing.
So
Have you decided what country?
Spain was you're living in Spain. So
Yeah.
our third partner actually lives in Barcelona.
Oh,
So we're
amazing.
all over the world. We have another a tech manager who lives in Argentina. And we've always been very global, very remote, essentially. So it would be nice for us to come together and our company culture, by the way, probably you can get a sense, is we're female founded, female operated. So
Yeah,
it's a very nurturing, compassionate
love
culture. We're very
it.
ambitious, we're very type A personalities, but we're like, we want each other to do well. There's this like healthiness to the culture, which we're very proud of. So
Yeah.
I guess that's why we have this non-financial goal, which is okay, we did it, we worked hard, we got to this point.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
love it. And I think that they're just as important as the financial targets and the business targets because you have to enjoy your journey along the way. Otherwise, it'll be hard to achieve that if you hit the burnout or you lose focus or whatever else. So it's great that you guys have each other, as you say, to
Mhm.
bandwidth with and become a team and really push forward. In terms of those revenue targets, or even the celebrating when you get to June and you've hit those targets, what would you say is the biggest challenge at the moment in making all this happen?
I think bandwidth and time. That's the biggest thing. Like something that you brought up yourself, Olivia, are you mentioned, like, are you guys taking those calls yourself or are you
Yeah.
doing, right? We have that really like I think all founders and entrepreneurs get into this rut where you take on everything and you have to do all the administrative. And we're not ones to shy away from rolling up our sleeves and doing it. We've always done it. There's no ego problems here. But the issue is like, what tasks are the $10,000 tasks and what are the $5 tasks? And sometimes I think we are not good with managing our $5 tasks because they're not pushing the needle. And I think reevaluating our priorities and what's going to have the biggest impact for us internally, for processes, product, marketing, and systems, and then also what's going to have the biggest impact for our clients.
Yeah.
So I think that is going to be our biggest challenge, essentially. And that's something we need to sit down and be like, nope, this is what we're going to do. This is actually not such a big deal. We'll survive without it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's speaking to a lot of founders, the same thing comes up, the fulfillment side, the time barrier, the what jobs should we prioritize, whereas you do just want to be working on the business and not doing those like nitty-gritty jobs that maybe you can pass off to somebody else that or is maybe is actually better than you are. It's just
Mhm.
deciding like, what moment is right for you guys to scale and move that process along. So just to finish it up, I do want to move into a bit of a lightning round. So Sheri, I'm gonna ask you one question and then Manu, I'll ask you another one if that works.
Okay. Sure.
Amazing. So, Sherry, we'll start with you. What would you say has been the best piece of advice that you've ever received about scaling a business?
Oh, not so much of a lightning answer, but piece of advice, I think just like understanding or have your milestones and goals in mind, and then make sure you're always going to that. So if, let's say, we want to expand to the Canadian market, have a timeline to and when we're going to do that. I don't know if that answered the question properly, but
Oh, I love it. Consistency, clarity, and all the things you brought up before. So it's great. I love that as you move through it. And then, Manu, for you, to our listeners or to any founders who are listening at the moment, and they're just at the start of their own journey, what advice would you leave them with to help them moving forward?
I'm very prepared for this one because I've been through this too many times. Just start. I'll tell you that.
Mm,
Type A perfectionism is a disease that it's like a double-edged sword, right? Like they're
Yeah.
so good because you're like obsessing and you're overthinking and you're like trying to make everything perfect, but do not wait for perfection. 85% is good enough. Just start. The difference between like someone successful and not someone not successful is their level of execution, proactiveness, and risk aversion. Like just do it. So
Love
don't
it.
get stuck into paralysis by analysis. And if you think you have to have it all figured out, you absolutely don't. When you're sinking, crying at night in the shower, you will figure it out in that process. It is okay. It's fine. Everyone went through this and you're not alone. So that is my advice. Just do it. I stole that from Nike, but it's okay.
Just that everyone can have it. Nike love it, so
Yeah.
we'll as well. And thank you so much both for joining me today. Where can people reach out to work with you and connect if they wish to?
Absolutely. So I think the best is our website. We have a button for that, so you can submit a thing. If you want to reach out to us directly through LinkedIn, it's very quick. We're very active on that, or our emails, which are our names at excelerategroup.com.
Amazing. So, to our listeners, thank you so much if you enjoyed this episode. Please go and connect with Sheri and Mahnoor, and don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we were able to go from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.